Hey, crafty friends, WTF, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada today. I've got a Lost Lagoon base that I've already sliced from corner to about an inch from the bottom. And we're going to do some ink blending. I am using the Feathered Flight stamp set. I was going to use my blending brushes, but they're still damp from this morning. I decided that I was going to wash everybody, so we're going to use sponge daubers instead. I've got Balmy Blue, Tahitian Tide, Lost Lagoon, and Coastal Cabana as our ink colors. Now, over on my Facebook page, I will be showing you the colors that, or the photo actually, that inspired this. So I'm going to do our horizon line first. I've just got to post it. My piece of paper here is 3 inches by 4 inches. I'm trying to get it straight here. I'm going to start with Tahitian Tide, I think, and get our horizon line down. So we're just going to go ahead and do circles right along the edge of our post-it. That's going to give us our starting point. And give us a nice, crisp, clean horizon line. I usually prefer circles when I am doing any kind of ink blending because it's not quite so in your face and abrupt. It's a little bit more subtle. So there's our starting point for our horizon. I'm just going to do a little bit more. I'm not going to re-ink. I'm just basically going to wipe the ink off of this guy. Maybe just a little tiny bit more. Just to get the ink flowing. And then that's going to be it for Tahitian Tide. This is one of the retiring ink colors. The last chance sale has already started. So if you love any of the ink colors from 22 to 24, so Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, what were the other ones? Orchid Oasis, and also, what was the other one? Orchid Oasis, Misty, Starry Sky. Okay, now I've got our Balmy Blue here that I'm going to blend up and down. So the Balmy Blue for the top is going to be our sky. So it's all right if it's not really solid coverage. I just kind of want it to be a little bit more cloud-like, sky-like. And then you do want to make sure that it's not terribly obvious where you have your blend line, except right here where our horizon is going to be. And then we're going to mix in some of the blue. Balmy Blue is a really light shade, so it's a little bit more of a challenge to get good coverage. But I think we're good there. And then close. You always want to hear that snap when you close your ink so that you know Coastal Cabana is going to be the last color that I use for this. So then Lost Lagoon. You always want to hear that snap so that you know that your ink pad is completely sealed. And then we're going to go in sort of an ombre-ish effect. This is going to be sort of emulating water a little bit. I am going to lighten that up just a little because it's a little bit darker than I had intended it to be there. We'll call it choppy waters. It's all good. And then give that a close. And then we're going to go in. Actually, I'm going to do Coastal Cabana, but I'm going to use a different sponge dauber for that one. Actually, I'm not going to use that one. It looks a little bit odd. There we go. There we go. That's better. And then I'm going to, I don't really love actually how that Lost Lagoon is looking on our water. It's looking a little bit more stormy seas than calm, relaxing trek out onto the ocean. So I'm going to grab our piece of paper towel here. There is nothing unfixable because all of the Stampin' Up! Inks are water-based. I'm just going to spritz a little bit of water on it. Get some ink flowing here. And I'm just going to flip it over. And then grab our heat tool and give it a quick little dry. Hope that nothing decides it's going to hit the floor. So not exactly the direction that I intended to go in, but we'll get there. Very rarely do I throw things out in my craft room. I usually try really, really hard to get everything back on track. It's a little hot to hold. I'm drying the back as well when it starts to curl. Drying the back helps to flatten it out a bit. All right, that's a little bit closer to what I had envisioned. We'll grab our Coastal Cabana again and just very gently go over where our Lost Lagoon is. There. Just a little bit of water, that'll help with the blending. The thing with ink blending, you can keep going and adding and layering until you're completely content with how it looks. I will bring our Tahitian tide in again and just kind of make it a little bit more watery. There we go. And I think just a little bit more water application. And then we'll be good to go. Oh, I like that. It looks kind of like swirling seas a little bit. Kind of like you're on a cruise ship, but sitting in your craft room. So I'm just going to let this hang out with that for just a few minutes. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut a base, and I'm going to do just 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, just enough to give it a little bit of extra stability, and just a tiny little bit of frame. I've been not using a whole lot of black up until recently, but the last few days it's been rapidly becoming one of my go-to frame colors. All right, so we've got, or matte layer, I guess, not frame. So because I've applied water, if you've been here for any length of time, you know that I like to do a little bit more adhesive when I've got a water-based application. And then, oh, please don't rip. 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 Thank you for not ripping. Sorry. I'm a big believer in the please don't tear prayer. Okay. So there is our layer. And you see just how that little bit of black kind of gives it a little bit of pop or something. And then New Day, New Adventure is our stamp set that we're going to do. Or sentiment that we're going to do. I think we'll do it in black. Now, if you wanted to, you applied water, you could absolutely let it air dry. I like to use my heat tool because it's a little bit faster. New Day, New Adventure. And of course we have a splotch, but we're going to fix that right quick with a little bit of bling. And I'm going to use these guys. We're going to do one there. Yeah, that works. One there. We're actually going to do 2 colors here, I think. All right. Take your pick. Is being picky today. Probably would help if I extruded a little bit more putty. There we go. And then we'll do 3rd one just up over this way. And then grab our base again. And then we're just going to place it so that when you open up your card, you've got your sentiment. Now you can place it anywhere on the base that you would like, but you do want to make sure that you're not going to tape anything that shouldn't be taped. So I'm going to do a little bit here just to make sure. And then I'm going to do just the last bit there. And maybe up to about an inch. And then you want to make sure that when you place your sentiment piece that it's not going to land where you've got your adhesive. And then we're just going to pop our card open. If you wanted to, you could add a card base either in the coordinating colors, or you can, because Lost Lagoon is light enough, you can just leave it as it is. So a really fun, easy, relatively easy ink blending technique. You can use whatever colors you have and that you love. I'm just going to leave my block on top of this for just a little bit to make sure that it's going to lay flat. So I'll leave that overnight just to help it dry that just a little bit of extra more. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.